How's it? Welcome into another glorious episode of the Sunday Night Arsenal, but the Monday edition yet again. So it is. It's fight night tonight. Um, I don't know. I didn't bother bringing a cut man or anything, Mike. I don't know if you did. I don't think
It's
you. I
fight
don't think
night.
they're. I think it might be. There might be some body blows in here, but Ryan's not going to get close to the moneymaker. So, um, But speaking of Ryan, there he is down below, chomping away, chomping at the bit, as they say. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Good. I think the reason why you both didn't bring Cutman is because you guys think we're a terrible team. We're getting relegated. We lost the league. So what's the point? Why bother? So yeah, I'm ready to.
I love that your spirit animal is on my side when it comes to all of this. Just saying.
More like a yin and yang thing now.
And on the West Coast, which is the best coast, despite that I live on the East Coast, but it is the best coast. Mike, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks again for the invitation. As you could see, unlike you guys outside, got nice and sunny out here still, so it's really nice and early for me. So it's kind of nice to do this. After this, grab some grub. But here we are about to talk about another brilliant win. Despite what Ryan says, we're happy. We were just slightly more critical. We have we feel like we all two between Tanner and I feel like we watched a different game than Ryan did. That's what we're trying to figure out. I'm not entirely sure. MLS is back. He might have been watching like Minnesota or something, or some other blue-ish type team, but we'll see how everything pans out for the night. Thanks, as always, for having me back, my friend.
Of course, man. At this point, dude, it's. I mean, we're hoping to make this a permanent thing, buddy. I'd if I were a younger man and didn't have knees that sound like rickety old stairs when I kneel down, I'd propose to you, buddy. I'm all for making this a permanent thing. Yeah, see, things that Ryan never did for you. Just saying.
Who says I didn't do that?
Fair. All right. Yeah, you got me there. So, yeah, it's listen. It's not all doom and gloom, but they say I'm gonna take a line from Elliot over at Arsenal Vision from their instant reaction yesterday. He was at the ground with Clive. I guess some people may say that September, October, November, December, performance matters. He said that March, April, and May results matter. I disagree with the March statement. I think that results matter hugely, performance matters hugely in March because I think it sets the tone for the way you're going to finish the run-in, the results for the run-in. I will have a very hot take toward the end of the show. And I'm thinking that we may introduce a new segment at the end of the show. And one of us will just give some ridiculously hot take. Have to believe it, though. And that'll be the cliffhanger for the following episode. I don't know. We'll talk about it later. We'll see how it goes. Anyway.
What's going to set Ryan off for an entire week? And then
it might set off more than Ryan. I don't know that it's a hot take.
And one thing I know is if I believe it to be true in order to troll something, then I believe it to be true. Because
that would be the only caveat to us doing this. If we're going to do something like that, is that if you've got you have to believe. You can't just make it up and be like, oh, hot take. But I don't really believe that. No, you got to believe it.
Shoot.
I think that performance matters, and right now we get when the calendar flips to April. Just get the result now. Just by hook or by crook, get the result. But right now, what I see is troubling. And despite a win, and look, again, as I said last week, if all we're going to do is come on here and I don't want to get flagged less than 10 minutes into the show, if we're going to if it's going to be all sitting around a campfire singing Kumbaya because we won, there's no point to doing this. Right? I mean, let's face it. We have our good moments, and we had a very good moment against Tottenham 2 weeks ago, but take that with a massive happy St. Totteringham's Day, by the way, boys. But I would take that right now with a pretty big pinch of salt, simply because it seems to be over the last 2.5 months, that performance is not the rule. That performance is the exception. What I watched on Sunday against Chelsea, to me, was the rule. I saw a team that could not, for the life of itself, figure out how to create a goal from open play. And we could talk about they didn't. You can't argue the fact that they didn't. You can laugh.
I can laugh at you.
No. I said you can laugh.
I know. I'm going to. I just did.
Can't argue it.
I didn't say it. Who said I was arguing?
The chaos to create the set pieces, sure. But if your tactic is to rely on set pieces, own goals, and that's it.
What? Stop with this own goal now. This is so nonsense. Own goal is such nonsense.
Why is it?
You're saying you're acting as if it doesn't. It's like half a goal.
If that's
crazy.
But if the only thing you're gonna rely on is for the other team to put the ball in their own net, that's not a tactic.
These teams are not putting in their net. It's deflecting and it's getting deflected.
You know what I mean? It's an own goal.
No.
It's an own goal. Sure, yes, I understand. Okay. We're really going to sit here and argue?
We are, because
the other team is kicking the ball into their own net.
That's what you're making it sound like. You're literally making it sound like the other team is kicking the ball into their own net.
Oh my God!
Didn't we do that this time? Wasn't the Chelsea goal in Hincapié own goal?
Yeah,
and that was.
See,
I obviously understand he's not trying to do that.
We score goals, dude. 3 goals, all of them Arsenal players.
Yeah, just like against Wolves. Just like against Wolves. Shoes on the other foot, though. My point being that if that is your tactic, that's just it's a tactic of hope. We can't do anything other than this, so this is all we have to go with. And in the end of the game, boy oh boy, and I will put the tweets up here in a little bit. I don't, Ryan. I guess we'll get into it right now. Mike and I agreed that we, and Yuri and Timber apparently agreed with us as well, that they quit playing. They quit playing, and the James Bench had a tweet of.
Can you say Timber's quote real quick for the audience?
Oh, give me. I gotta pull it up here. You gotta bear with me a second.
Or you texted it to me. I could just read it.
Yeah, I remember just poking fun. He says, and I quote, "We stopped playing a bit, which was unnecessary, especially with the man up. The energy within the players and the crowd, the anxiety, it's something we need to address and talk about."
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Verbatim. So this is what Tanner's alluding to, and I guess he wants a response to, like, as far as what your take on that one is now that you're hearing an actual player outright say it, because the back and forth in our group was Tanner and I were saying, holy shit, what are we doing a man up? Why are we defending? It's like we gave up. And you were more of a Chelsea's allowed to do tactics as well. Is that kind of where you're coming from? Is that correct? I don't want to misrepresent you, Ryan.
I didn't say that. That wasn't me that said that.
That's what I'm saying. Shoot. What is your perspective? Because Tanner and I, we're more, obviously, we won. Yay. We're thrilled. 3 points, vital. Absolutely. Tanner and I are more, I would say, concerned with the current trend that we're on, that every game seems like we're just making it out by some miracle. So, hey, you know what? Not my kid. That's all I know. All right. So I'm happy about that, Tanner. That's a dog. So, but you might have a different perspective on it. Like, but hearing Timber say we stopped playing, I think that's my validation for what I've been saying for the last few weeks, where, like, everybody keeps on saying City's not the city of old and we could win out. And I'm just letting people know that it's a reality that our players are feeling the pressure. And I don't think that is a hot take. I literally think, as fans were struggling, having not won the league for 3 years, I feel like it's impossible that the players as human beings are also not struggling with the ghost of not winning the league for 3 years.
Is there a question for me? I didn't know how you wanted me to respond, or
What's your take, or why? Let me, I guess here's your question, Ryan. I'm playing host when I'm gonna guess here. Why are you so comfortable winning this way?
I don't remember ever saying I was comfortable winning this way.
Okay, Ryan, give me an opinion, any opinion
Thank
at
you,
all.
thank you, Michael. Thank
You're
you. Okay.
running around in circles right now, and you're
No,
like,
no. So real quick, I find it fine. And Mike, I don't want you to take offenses because it isn't directed at you, but I find it very funny that people who have similar opinions as Mike, as clenchy butt cheeks, we suck, we're getting relegated. And Mike, I know you didn't say this, but I'm just saying we're shit, we're terrible. Just because I don't think those things immediately, oh, you think we're the best team in the world, you think we're never gonna lose, you think nothing's wrong, you like winning this way. No, 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 no. This game, and I'm not gonna go into it right this second. This game was very interesting from a tactical standpoint. We tactically played different today, this game, than any other game we've ever played. I thought it was very interesting. There were some positive things that I saw. There were some negative things I saw. But as far as our play, once the red card happened, and it kind of, I will link back to what Tanner earlier said about how performance matters in March. And I agree with you. I think performance does matter in March and if your team is not Arsenal FC, if you haven't won a league in 22 years, if you are constantly being ridiculed in the media, ridiculed by pundits, ridiculed by other teams, whatever. I think Arsenal. I don't know. Well, no, I mean, there hasn't been a team that's been under this much pressure to win something as Arsenal Football Club in the world. I mean, I guess I can't speak for world because there's like, bullshit that someone could pull out of their ass from a team from Burkina Faso in the African Super League. But yeah, no, I mean, I think the pressure from around the world is immense for them. And I think obviously you don't want to scrape by 1-0 and have these games every week. I'm not saying that, but I don't think performance matters for this club, for this team, for the amount of pressure they're under. I think it's just results. And I'm not going to sit here and say like the players agree with me. Arteta agrees with me. They definitely don't, and they shouldn't. I think they want to play better, but I think the pressure is so, and we kind of touched upon it last week. I think the pressure is so great sometimes that I think players just want to like, all right, like I get it, there's 10 minutes left, but like just hey, soccer gods, just give us 3 points here and then we'll try harder next game. And you're constantly pushing the buck, kind of making a deal with the devil with the last 10 minutes of every game, being like, listen, I know things are on a knife's edge here, but just let us sneak by with these 3 points and we'll be better next time. We'll be better next time. And eventually it's going to bite you. I mean, it's with any team. It's going to bite you in the ass. And I just think the pressure is so great from Arsenal that like it just comes down to like 10 minutes in the game. Like let's make a deal. Let's cut it. Let's cut a deal, because I think the need for us to win a big trophy with what we've accomplished so far, or lack of accomplished so far, is just so great. And with how good this team is, we need to win something major.
But see, I think, and I agree with, I agree with almost everything you just said. But isn't that then, that's kind of the point that Mike and I are making, is the performance does matter. And so what we're doing right now and what we've done over the course of the last 9 matches now is really kind of unacceptable. You can't just, I get what you're saying, and I won't argue that what you said about, players kind of 10 minutes, like, get us over the line, let's just get us over the line. I won't argue that point, but it can't be that. It just can't. And these performances are consistently worrying to the point where screw it. I'm going to go into the hot take now, simply because I think it's pertinent right now. I believe that if we do not win the League Cup, we do not win a trophy. Because given
That's not a hot take at all. But
well, okay.
sorry.
I thought it kind of I thought it kind of might be. I thought you actually might be like, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. No, they'll win. No, I think if this team is as mentally fragile as we're being told, as we're seeing, maybe that they are, is what we're seeing mental fragility? Is the pressure getting to them? And I think it will absolutely bury them. If they lose the League Cup to City, I think it's going to absolutely bury them.
I think that's where I'll disagree. I don't think it's going to bury them, but I definitely think if
we won't,
I think if we lose the League Cup, it'll be. I think, let's put it this way: the way you see it right now, if we lose against City in the League Cup, you see it as us climbing a mountain to win a trophy. I see it as us climbing a hill. So it's like, I agree with you, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's like, oh, we're buried. Like you just said, we're going to be buried. I don't think we're buried, but I think we're in the coffin, above ground, but we're in the coffin. The hole hasn't been dug yet, but
I like that.
I don't think we're buried though. Well, you got to think again. This is all obviously if both teams went out, all we need is a draw. We don't need to beat City. And it worries me because I think we're going to go there and play for a draw, which I don't want because I think we're better than them. But I mean, the reality is we just need a draw.
I know we're better than Wolves. And I mean, just
that's why you play the game.
We didn't go there.
That's why you play the game.
But what's that?
I said, yeah. Well, obviously that's why you play the game. It's fun.
Yeah. Yep. I just think that I keep hearing mental fragility. So if that's what it is, the loss. I don't know that I understand the climbing the mountain versus climbing the hill. We're all but at the peak. We've got 5 steps left to take to summit the mountain of the League Cup. We're right there, and City are right there with us. They've got 5 steps left as well. It's just a matter of who's going to win the race now. So I don't think I'm not sure I understand the analogy, if you will.
Well, take the analogy of being. You think we're buried? If we lose against City, we're buried.
I think it wrecks. So you think that there would still? I mean, obviously there's still a chance. Yes, until it's over.
You just think it's less of a chance than I do. It's not.
I would put our chances to win a trophy if we lose the League Cup at less than 10%.
Yeah, see, I don't agree with that, but I don't think it's like 100% either. Like
certainly,
yeah.
Not. But at the end of the day, it's all 50-50. We're either going to win a trophy or we're not. It's 50-50.
Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I find the conversation interesting. I don't know what to do with the League Cup, but I guess where you're coming from, it's kind of like our players coming face to face with their nightmare, almost kind of like, oh shit, we haven't been able to overcome this team. And I do think, and I don't think this is necessarily, as Ryan said, is like they're, and I've been kind of fighting this good fight in which I believe like now when you criticize something or someone, it turns into you think we're shit. But I don't think saying our attack has been pretty fucking limp dick the majority of the league campaign is outrageous. I don't think saying Viktor Gyökeres still doesn't look like a highly competent footballer. I don't think that's a hot take. A matter of fact, I was kind of going back and forth with somebody today, and I think Bukayo Saka has not had a great season by many measures. And they came at me with like some stats and like, guys, we're doing this thing with Ozo where people were counting pre-assist. Like it was something like most assists shot created, like the numbers that I've never fucking seen before. Like not assists, but he passed the ball for somebody to shoot, and we got that. Oh my god, he's ranked number 1, guys. Fucking goals and assists matter. And currently, I actually looked it up a little earlier because I was going to bring up Bukayo, and again, I don't see this as outrageous, but I'm criticizing or at least highlighting Bukayo Saka's current form based on what we know of him. 23, 24, 25 goal 25 goal contributions. 24/25, 16. Currently 7. I'm not making this up. He's doing less in the final third. And I think there's a fine line between saying he's struggling via fitness, via whatever it is. Teams are more wise to what he's doing, whatever it may be. I don't view that as simply saying, "Oh my God, Mike is trashing Saka," right? I think that's a little bit hyperbolic. The only thing I got with Ryan is this is what you could correct me, but I cannot remember City winning all those league titles or Liverpool when they won those league titles. Maybe Liverpool had a lot of last minute winners. I didn't see them struggling to score goals at the rate that we're struggling. And that I guess that's where my concern is, right? And like, we're going to visit Brighton, and I can't say we're going to Brighton and going to blow them away. I could say they're going to bunker down, and hopefully we manage to score. So, we talk about a few highlighted games right now, and this is really, and it's kind of difficult because it's a really like cool thing that happened, right? Like, so we beat the shit out of Spurs, right? And everybody was like, "Holy shit, we beat the Spurs! We're back, league table." Guys, they have like nearly a starting 11 that's injured. They're 16th in the table. They're a shit team. We were supposed to beat them. And Chelsea, excuse me, but they're a shit team as well. Like they're a nasty team.
You said Chelsea's a shit team?
Chelsea's been shit.
I hate them. They're not a shit team. I hate them. I hate them more than every other club. I include Tottenham. That includes United. I don't think they're a shit team. They're not.
Whoa!
What do you? So 19 points ahead of them. They're a good team.
They're a fine team. They're good.
They're not supposed to be like this with us, Ryan. There's no way, dude. You wouldn't look at Brentford. Okay, no. Is Brentford? Because Brentford's like 1 point away from them, like 20 points away from us. Would you consider Brentford an okay or a good team?
But I don't judge if a team's good or not based on their standings. I mean, it's an indicator.
What does that even mean, Ryan? So
I think Chelsea's. I don't think Chelsea. Let's put it this way. We're going to play semantics here. I don't think Chelsea's a team. Do I think they're a team on our level? No, not really. But to say they're because I don't think they're on our level, that means they're a shit team. That doesn't really make sense to me. Like, you can't. It's not one. So it's not one or the other. It's not either you're shit or you're amazing, and you could compete with Arsenal. There's an in between. They're an in between. They're fine. They're an okay team. They're a fine team.
If they were fully fit yesterday and they had every player, Mike, by last count, I think that was 872 players that they have available to choose from. If they had all of those players available, they're not a horrible team. If they had all of that, they're pretty bad, and they're pretty banged up, and they had a couple of suspensions. Yesterday's team that got put out there was pretty shit. And the only thing that Chelsea have going for them,
who are they missing that would make their team so much better? I know Fofana. You could maybe argue Esteval, but I don't think he's a really big star. And then Gittins is probably one of the worst signings in the Premier League. That's what I'm saying. You're saying that Chelsea is missing so many players. Who are they missing that would have like Cucurella? But we always put him on his ass. He's been playing. He's had a really good Premier League season. I will give him Cucurella that.
But we're not the ones that are saying that Chelsea are a halfway decent team. You're the one. No, we're both saying Chelsea are pretty shit, and they were missing all of these players.
Yeah, but then now I'm sorry. I'm at a different argument now. You're saying it sounds like you're making the argument that they were missing so many players against us. They were so bad because they were missing everybody. No, they really were missing. They were missing a lot of players, but not players that really would have made a mark. I think honestly, their best player, and this will be my hot take. Their best player is probably Reece James.
No, that's not a hot take at all. He's far.
Well, I didn't think so. Good. I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was a hot take because I know people love Cole Palmer and love to suck him off.
I love Reece James.
I don't think Cole. I don't think Cole Palmer's a good player at all. And it's funny, and maybe I'll get into it later. A big reason why this game was so close, and a big reason why I think we did what we did tactically, was because of Reece James. So,
see, I think what we did tactically, because it was just long ball over the top, long ball over the top, long ball over the top, long ball over the top.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to try to play through their midfield, which is the only area on the pitch that they actually have some quality. And it was just get past the midfield, get past the midfield, get past the midfield.
And because they were pressing us, their midfield was pressing us.
I think going into the game, the game, the tactic was balls over the top to avoid the midfield. And they just happened. And look, and okay, but to that point too, we seem to shit the bed. We don't know what to do all of a sudden when teams press us like that. That's okay, so that's it. So they want to press, so we're just long ball over the top, and it's a hope and a prayer. It's a hope and a prayer. And I don't think Chelsea are particularly good. I will say, there's something about Rosinha that I like. I don't know. There's something about him that I like, and I hope he doesn't have any semblance of success at Chelsea. But I hope that he finds it elsewhere. I don't know. There's something about him. I like the dude. But anyway, Mikey, go ahead. You're muted, buddy.
Yeah,
what part we're arguing right now? We're all over the place.
So I was just talking. We kind of went into it when you called Chelsea shit team, and we
both said Chelsea shit. Ryan said no, they're not. Then all of a sudden he started telling us how.
No. Time out. No. See, don't. No. Then you chimed in, Tanner. Then you chimed in and said, "Well, they were missing so many players, like all their suspensions and injuries." And I'm like, "Yeah, they might, but none of their injuries and suspensions
bad they really were yesterday."
What?
To hammer home how bad they really were yesterday.
I disagree.
I'm generally curious, like how you view things as like what's good, what's bad, because like I'm just looking at the table. I'm like, they're 6 points behind Aston Villa. Does that?
I assume you're talking about to Ryan, right, Mike?
Again, it's an indicator, but I the only thing I can say to you, Mike, is, and this is again from my perspective. I don't want to put words in your mouth here. I'm under the assumption you think either you're amazing or you're shit, and there's no in between. There is an in between.
I think that.
There's tiers, there's levels. People say there's levels to this game. It's not black, it's not white.
But you're the one that keeps saying that to us.
Saying what?
That because we're not all fairy dust and rainbows about the way that we're playing, that we think they're going to get relegated. We're not saying that.
Ryan,
I could read some text that make it seem like to me that you think we're getting relegated.
Yeah, I would say regarding Arsenal, I don't remember ever saying we're shit. I say our attack has been shit. I say that plenty of times.
I will say, somewhere along the line, I have probably said we are so fucking shit.
Okay,
I will flat out. Yeah.
So regarding Arsenal, no, there's context. Manchester City, there's context. But if you ask me, hey, Chelsea are good, I'm gonna tell you Chelsea are a shit team right now. That's what I'm going with. That and for the record, we Let me parlay this a little bit into my media hate. Not enough is said that they're struggling to get into the top 4 after spending the amount of money they have, and how we're looked at as potential bottlers if we don't win the league. But nothing is said about a Chelsea that has spent an infallible amount of money, and they can't qualify for Champions League, and it's just glossing over. And then Liverpool is currently 3 points behind Aston fucking Villa, with Arne Slot just consistently talking about how shit and horrible the league is, and nobody's calling him out. And he's the current reigning champion, and nobody's calling him out. Look, you asked me talk about Liverpool, Ryan. I'm not going to tell you they're shit. I'm going to tell you they're defensively fragile. Chelsea, they have plenty of problems that made me feel like they're a pretty shit team. So like that's generally how I feel. But regarding Arsenal, my frustration, and this is what you read in text a lot of times, is, dude, when Gyökeres gets 2 or 3 one-on-ones and does nothing with the ball, it frustrates me. Okay? When we get 2 versus 1, 3 versus 2, and it amounts to sweet fuck all regarding a shot on target, it frustrates me. So at the very least, if you don't want me using the word shit for you know, I'm going to dress it up at least and say we are not decisive at all in front of goal. And I think I squeezed this in our Twitter thread, but you were kind of in and out.
Yeah.
Listen, you could say Arsenal took 10 shots on target. They didn't, but let's just say this: 10 shots on target and they managed to score 1 goal. You could say that's good because we created the chances, but I also think it's wasteful. City had 2 shots versus Leeds. They scored 1. I can't think of a world in which Arsenal has 2 shots in a game and wins the game. And I'm literally not saying we're not winning the league. I'm not saying, as you know, last week I sat on the fence, not saying we won it, not saying we didn't win it. We're not going to win it. I'm simply saying that our attack has not been clicking for a very long time. Odegaard is going to be out for who knows how many times. Eze has a tendency of kind of drifting in and out of games. I think it's a really fair assumption as of right now. If you were to say on balance, as Eze has had a really good season for Arsenal, I think you could make the argument that he hasn't. Other than scoring versus Spurs, which is fucking hilarious. That's all I'm saying, dude. In attack, we look just disjointed, and I'm trying to figure out what happened because, as far as we know, Bukayo Saka has been relatively healthy, and something happened to him. Right? He's not affecting the game as he used to. Our left wing is still between Martinelli and Trossard, and they come and go depending on the games. And Gyökeres, to me, while has scored goals, still doesn't look like the striker in my head. But winning and scoring goals resolves everything. So it's easy. So I say Gyökeres still doesn't look like a great footballer to me. And you could easily say, suck it, bitch. He scored more than everybody else in 2026. And I have no fucking comeback for that. So
I was just gonna say, well, I think Atike has more of him, and maybe João Pedro, but yeah, suck it, bitch.
Of course, yes.
I think the thing with Gyökeres is, and I've said this before, and I don't think either of you are under this illusion. Just to be fair, but I think that there was an expectation that this guy was going to come in and bag 30 goals in all competitions.
It's crazy,
and it's just not going to happen because this system, tactically, we're not set up that way. That's not how Arteta wants to play. And I said this over the summer when we would talk about Šeško v. Gyökeres, who would you rather have? And my answer was, I want the guy that's going to fit the system the best. And neither of them do, in my opinion. I don't think either one of these guys. I don't know that there's a player out there that, I mean, if there is, he's in-house already. It's just a shame that he's been hurt the better part of a full season. And that's Kai Havertz. He seems to be the guy that fits that role the best and understands it the best. But tactically, it's a goal by committee, right? It's not, there's not one singular target man. And I'll be honest with you, and I keep thinking about something, and I don't want to get off the rails, but what this team lacks is a player that can just grab the game by the scruff of its neck and drag it along. The problem is that I don't know that there's a player out there available that does that. And I'll be honest, I think there's only one player in the world that has that ability. I think there are players who can dictate a game, but I don't know that there's a player other than Erling Haaland who can literally just at the drop of a hat take a game over and just start scoring goals for fun. And in a team, like City, doesn't necessarily need to do that because they have other options. But as far as Arsenal go, that seems to be, to me, if I had to pinpoint what's the one thing that this team lacks, it's that. But I don't think it's available either. So I think we're desperate to try to find, both as fans and supporters and the club from a scouting and recruitment standpoint, that player. And I don't think that player exists. And to think that it was going to be Viktor Gyökeres to come in and even score half the goals that he scored in all competitions last season at Sporting I think that's folly. That would have been 26. What do you have last year? 52 in all comps for Sporting?
Something like that.
Something like that. I think 26 in this system is a bit outlandish. In all competitions, I think that's a bit outlandish. And that's even taking into consideration that he has played almost every game this season, or started almost every game this season. If Kai Havertz is healthy, I don't think he gets enough playing time to even begin to scratch 26 goals. But then, as I say all of that, at the end of the day, the manager has multiple jobs. One of those jobs is you've got to figure out scoring. You've got to figure out how to get this team creating chances from open play. And it's just more of the same. And Mike, you made a comment about Saka. And like teams kind of figuring out what he's going to. Teams figured out what we're going to try to do 3 years ago. Give the ball to Bukayo Saka on the right, and let's see what he can create. Because that's
we haven't done that all year. I don't know, like that's like crazy. We didn't do that this year. We did it at times.
We didn't give the ball to Bukayo Saka and let him try to create at all this year. Are you
as our main game plan?
What's the main game plan then? Because I don't know what it is. I'm asking this question. What's the main game plan?
I genuinely believe this, not to like poke at you. I genuinely believe that's still our game plan. It's just the only difference between this season giving the ball to Saka and last season is he's converting a whole lot less. I generally believe the game plan is still give the ball to Saka.
Well, we're not doing. I don't see us doing it, but
I'll
tell you.
What do you see us doing? I have to hear this.
I will break it down for you right now. So I think Arteta's tactics going into this game was to
no. Whoa. Now you're on two different arguments.
Our game plan, our tactics, and our game plan are the same thing.
We're talking about for the season, and now all of a sudden you're going to bring up one game. No. Season.
Well, this game. I think it's been different every game. Not every game, but it's been different in clumps of games. There might have been a game or two where we prioritize Saka, but that's.
Let me ask this question: overall, generally speaking, season, big picture, season.
Yeah.
Is the main attacking tactic? Say that fast 3 times. Is it not to create from the right with Bukayo Saka if he's on the pitch? Generally speaking, and the majority, and I don't care if that majority is 50.1%.
Yeah, I guess I could see it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, yeah. But we didn't try that today. Like we didn't try that against Chelsea as much as we normally have.
I agree with that. I absolutely agree with you. Again, ball over the top.
I think there are games where we're trying to change it up, and we have changed it up tactically. But I don't think I think we don't push that envelope as much as we have in the last few years. I mean, to be fair, also Saka hasn't fully been here all season. I also think that Saka. This is what tripped me up with Mike, is maybe my head spin a little bit. You said converting. I think Saka's inverting more. I think, all right, I don't think he's converting. I agree with what Mike was saying. But I also think he's pushing into the middle of the pitch more. You know, I mean, he even started at 10 for us 2 games already. But yeah, I think he's pushing into the middle a little bit.
I did really like that, by the way. I know it didn't come off, but I loved that.
And I think we're trying to do that more. I think we're trying to invert our wings a little bit and just give defenses a little different looks, because I think an issue. I don't know if I brought this up last week or not, or maybe I just thought about it in my head. No, I definitely brought it up. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. My biggest issue with Timber and Saka is Timber's always standing where Saka is trying to go or need to be, and they're always stepping on each other's toes. It didn't really happen against Chelsea because of the change of tactics, and people slag Saka and Saka had such a bad half. Meanwhile, he converted. He created more chances than the entire Chelsea team in the first half. But whatever, Saka was terrible. Anyways, he did a lot of good defensive duties, which is something I personally don't really see him do that much. And he allowed Timber to kind of push forward. And Saka kind of played almost like a pseudo right back kind of role. And Timber was able to push forward, get into space, make moves, and he was a player of the game for a lot of people. I would say he's probably was my man of the match. But
Saka?
No, Timber.
Oh, Tim. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I may have to like think about it more, but off the top of my head, I would probably say Timber. I mean, no, Raya, but then
Okay.
on the
All
field, I
right.
would probably
Okay.
say
See,
Timber.
Mike, he caught himself.
I had to like think about it. I told you it was off the top of my head. Leave me alone. Sometimes I just like speak, words come out, and I don't think. I do that a lot.
Boy, oh boy, you don't say.
Yeah, but no, yeah. So I see. So that's why and it's just funny. And again, Mike, I don't mean to call you out, but like it's not you that is doing this. And I know you do this to poke fun and to be funny, but like I just said, hey, I thought Saka. I didn't even say Saka had a good half. I just said, considering how bad he's been this season, which I think he hasn't been good. He hasn't been good this season at all. So the bar is very low. I think it was as far as this season is concerned, it's one of his better halves of football as far in relation to the season. And it turned into Saka's on his balloon d'Or run. It's like Ballon d'Or. I can't even say that word. Ballon d'Or run. And it's like, well no, it's again, and it's funny, Mike, and it's funny that you made that comment to me, and then we're talking now about Chelsea being shit or not. I just feel like with you, it's either he's very, very good or he's very, very bad. No, there's like an in between. Like, I don't think he's been bad this season. I'm not saying no, but I think he's had one of his better halves of football for us, and it's like promising, especially since our tactics were very different. Our formation, I guess, was the same, but players were staying in different positions, doing certain different functions, and yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I don't think Saka is.
And I figured out Ryan's problem.
Okay, yeah.
His reading comprehension is bad. I figured this out now.
Okay, what did you say?
Okay, so for one,
wait, Mike, can I just say that there was a point in time last week where I was going to say the same thing.
Well, it's funny because I didn't want to
be an ass.
Well, because he's saying a few comments, and I remember these comments, and you said one of the better halves of some, and I said don't hand wave that he's been shit this season, and I
wasn't talking about that comment. I was talking
about that. Yeah. But the Ballon d'Or comment, this is where I made fun of you about your reading comprehension. Is Kelly said he thought he was going to have a season where he's on track based on past seasons to be competing for Ballon d'Or. So we were disappointed with what we're getting out of him. So he wasn't.
I didn't read any of that. So
yeah, but because you said the Ballon d'Or thing, and I thought about thinking about Kelly, and Kelly didn't say you said he's on a Ballon d'Or. He said we thought he was going to be.
No. No. See, you're talking about a different comment. You said in a different chat about me. I have Ryan. I gotta read my phone. It's in my phone, but you said something like, "Oh, Ryan thinks Saka's on a Ballon d'Or tour or some shit." I don't know what you said. It was not in the group. It's not in the Twitter group. But whatever. And you just muted yourself, Mike. Good job.
I totally believe I would say something like that to you, but
I think you were joking. You were joking around, but
that one was after him, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can we move away from
Saka being the best person? No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I live a simple, peaceful life. Don't need you telling me Saka's on a Ballon d'Or right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's when you were asking me. That's when you were asking me if I was going to be on to argue about this.
Yeah.
I was doing the Star Wars meme where it's like it's a quiet and simple life. Yeah. Is what I live now. To move the conversation forward a little bit, if you guys don't mind.
I don't mind at all, man.
Before we get clipped up for hating Saka or something.
Yeah, right.
No, I mean,
Mike, nobody watches this show. Nobody's clipping us up for it.
Hey, watch for me.
I think the league has to do something with how players are approaching corners, because like I do think, and this is not an Arsenal specific thing as like media wants to paint it, but dude, like when I see still images and I see what other teams do to us and what we do to other teams, I do think there's a degree of like, okay, guys, now you are literally just picking a player and literally bear hugging them.
Yeah.
And I do think that like something's got to give, dude. Like, I don't know what type of clarity, because like there's a lot of these things where like not.
They were supposed to do that this season. They were supposed to enforce.
It was just,
Yeah,
I
they're
was
like
just
they're
gonna
like
say
I
they were
forgot who it was. They're one of their center backs, the one that told Gyökeres to get up because he dived.
Chalaba.
There you go. He was bear hugging. Like Raya could not jump if he wanted to jump in that circumstance. And I want to make this perfectly clear. I'm not coming this as an Arsenal exclusively as an Arsenal side. So a lot of our players bear hug people too, but some of the still images is like
It's crazy.
You're no longer marking people. Like I saw some of the United game, and I'm like, you literally have them in a headlock, dude. At least I remember.
I've tweeted about this multiple times this season.
What's
I haven't
the
tweeted a lot.
guy that is horrible in the final third? He played for in England, went to Barcelona. Traore, I think
the big buff guy.
Big buff guy, right?
I remember
Traore. He's on West Ham.
I remember like they somebody
fast.
brought him up and said, "Oh, the media praised him for doing this." I'll tell you something about him. At the very least, he went like this, just hands extended, and they tried to get by him, but he's so fucking strong. They simply couldn't get by him. But at the very least, he didn't fucking like.
Yeah.
And I do think like I've been seeing it a lot because obviously Chelsea supporters are complaining about the corners. But if you see some of the still frames, us versus other teams versus us, I do think we've gone a little too far in the corners. And this is just as a topic of football and within England as a whole. I don't know if you guys want to share an opinion on that one, but I do think it's something worth monitoring more, but I do also know that once we say we're going to do that, it's going to become an issue as far as how consistent we do that, because we've all seen multiple plays where five of them go one way and the other one goes the other way. So it'd be really difficult to monitor, and I wouldn't, and I know that the media would turn this into PGMOL change the rules because of Arsenal, and I don't think it's exclusively because of that, because you could see a shitload of still images of them they don't know what to do with Gabriel anymore. They see Big Gabby in the thing and they're like, holy fuck, just hold him down. But the Shalala one, bear hugging the goalkeeper, I just thought, let's say like Raya managed to get away from it, but leading up to it, Shalala clearly steps on his foot intentionally. Like you could see him looking to step on his foot, and then he follows up with just completely bear hugging him, and Raya manages to get away and get a hand on the ball and make a save. And I just look at that like, guys, like if they would have scored that, I would have been like, does anybody like have an issue with this guy bear hugging the goalkeeper?
Well, Mike, they scored right after it because we conceded the corner by him punching it out, and then they scored. So if the ref had called the foul, they wouldn't have scored. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
On the same, but I'll say this though, on the same corner.
Are you gonna say? I think you're gonna say what I was about to say. Yeah.
What Declan Rice was doing?
It's a handball. That should be.
That's absolutely a handball. I said it.
People were disagreeing.
It's a handball. Everybody at the bar where I was.
Is this the one when he was like this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody was saying, "Oh no, that's the player that he's holding on to." It's like, okay, so give the foul in the box then, because dude, he looks like he's dancing with his date at senior prom right now. He was holding that dude so.
I'm really mad. I don't remember him commentating the game. He was like, "I don't agree. In the Champions League, that would be a handball, and I don't agree. That should not be a handball." It was someone. It was a former player. I don't know. Who it was.
I
but I'm like, it's a handball.
Champions League has a completely different way of looking at the handball role, and that's been because I think we were given a penalty. It was like last year, or I've seen a few this season in which it's essentially no context handball. Yeah. They don't give two flying fucks how the ball arrived at your arm.
Right.
You touch it with your arm. But at the very least, I will say this: I could live with it exactly because of the consistency. Yeah. I may disagree sometimes.
Yeah.
But because I've seen it called the same, I've seen stupid penalties for us, against us, and for and against other teams, I could live with it because it's consistency.
Yep.
My whole thing is just pick something and fucking stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they do like this whole song and dance thing, and they're like let me explain you why this one play that looks exactly the same as the other one. Let me explain to you why you're so stupid that I need to explain to you why I'm calling it completely different. And I'm like, it just seems like a stretch. That's all. So, but yeah, the penalty, just the corner thing. And it's not a criticism because, like, again, I think I saw some stats that other teams has by far a bigger percentage of goals by corners. I don't really mind that we're scoring goals by corners. I'm gonna score. I'm gonna fucking celebrate a goal, no matter who the hell it was.
Absolutely.
I'm simply saying that
Not an own goal if you're Tanner.
Yeah, well, because it's not our players, you know.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Shame on you for celebrating other players' goals, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Even if it is for us. No, I think something has to be
Sound
done.
logic, Mike. Sound logic.
Sound logical, yeah. I do. Yeah, all jokes aside on the corner thing, I think something's going to have to give sooner or later, because what we're witnessing is light grappling, not defending, not man marking. Nobody's going in with the intention of, I'm going to win this header off of you. It's more of a, I'm going to hold you so that you can't move.
You know what it'll take, Mike? For every player in the box, for it to happen one time where every player in the box just goes down. They're just everybody gets tackled one way or the other. Everybody gets and I mean like NFL. I'm talking American football.
Well,
everybody gets and then the ball just like goes over everybody and nobody gets to it because they're all laying on the ground.
You know what? You say that, bro. You know, I don't know if you guys recall this, because I remember being frustrated, and of course they got applauds for, quote, learning how to stop Arsenal's corners. But I believe it was Porto with Conceição as their manager. When we visited them last year, I want to say in the Champions League, swear to God, every corner we took, you would see like 3 to 4 of their players just flail to the ground. And the ref, again, Champions League, it's a different breed, but the ref was like, man on the ground, that must be a foul. And like we had like 3 to 4 corners in that game that just were fouls. The defenders felt the contact. 3 or 4 defenders just went down to ground, and that's how the game was reffed. Now, I don't want to see it, obviously, and I would hate for that to be the outcome, but I'm just simply saying maybe not. Like, you see, if somebody hands are touching like this around somebody, stop the corner, warn the player, let them know there's going to be a call, because I do think like when you're like literally just bear hugging the player just to prevent them from moving, I think there's something fundamentally wrong with our current system as a whole in the league. This is not, again, we're benefiting from corners. Long may that continue. I'm just saying, as a football discourse, I think it's a little weird, to say the very least.
The only argument that the only contrarian point of view that I would take to everything you just said would simply be, if you're not going to call it, just make sure you don't call it either way. Just be consistent, like we said before. Just be consistent. But I agree with you. It takes away from the spirit of the game. We're now at a point where there's no spirit of the game kind of thing in these situations. It's just by, at all costs, just get the player away from the ball at all costs. I don't care if you've got to choke slam him like you're the frickin' Undertaker. Just get it, just get it done one way or the other.
I think it's weird too. This is only a problem in the Premier League, really.
Right.
Nowhere else. Yeah. I don't understand how or why, or.
I mean,
I've been tweeting of this for years. I don't understand how you could just.
I don't mind a little bit of physicality. I don't want every little thing called, but yes, if you're grabbing somebody up, I mean, what Chalobah did to Raya, and what Declan Rice did to, I don't even know who it was. Was it Neto? Doesn't matter who it was. We all know the instance that I'm talking about. But when you see that, it's like, what are you doing? So
Like,
call something.
Like if the ball's being played and like let's say the game's going on, it's open play, and if that
that's
happens,
absolutely you're gonna call it.
it's a foul.
Yeah.
Like I just don't understand why
the threshold definitely
corner,
went up
like,
with corners for some
it's
reason.
okay during a corner, but if it's an open play and you do that, no, you got a yellow. I mean, you get an automatic yellow card.
Well, there was there was an incident on Sunday. I can't remember the player that Saliba put his shoulder into. Might have been Neto. Saliba and a Chelsea player going for the ball. Saliba puts his shoulder into the Chelsea player's shoulder. It was just across. It was just on our side of midfield. It was, I believe, it was a goal kick.
Yeah, I think it was Neto.
I can't remember, but at any rate, the referee whistles for the foul. But then later on, in I want to say it was the same half. This was all the second half, I believe. I want to say it was Saka gets basically the same thing in the box, and there's no call. Darren England just says, no, waves it off. He knew what he saw, and he waved it off immediately. Like, I'm losing my mind. At the bar, I was pretty quiet most of the morning, and then all of a sudden that happened. I'm like, how is that not a penalty? You gave the foul in midfield, and now you don't want to give it here. Why? Because you'd be giving away a penalty? Like, what? I don't understand that. And it's the lack of consistency with those things. Like, Ryan, you and I have said this for years, and Mike, I will assume you feel the same way. Like, if it's a foul on one part of the pitch, it's a foul everywhere. I don't care if it's in the 18. If it's a foul in midfield, it's still a foul in the 18-yard box.
Or did you guys see the who was Bournemouth playing? I think it was earlier that day. Dude literally like shoulders the forward in the back in the box. It's a clear as day foul.
Yeah.
And they didn't give it. VAR checked it, and they were like, yeah, no, it's just, I don't know. It's just weird.
And even when VAR checks things and they come back, you're like, how do you not?
Or shout out to Burnley Brentford. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was the craziest game I've ever. It was the day before the Arsenal game. It was such a crazy game. Brentford up 3-0. Burnley come back, tie at 3-3. Then Brentford scored, make it 4-3, and then Burnley scored to make it 4-4 in stoppage time. And like they gave the goal, but it looks like the ball's going on the player's arms, but you can't tell. It looks like it is, but there's like you have to watch it. I'm not doing it justice, but
so basically what they said was we can't see it, but we think this is what happened, so they gave it the way they think it happened.
Yeah, so they disallowed the goal and they lost. And dude, it was such a you can't tell. It's so bad.
In honor of Mike being at a puckball game last night, that's the equivalent of we know that the puck is underneath the goalie in the net, like it's behind the red. I'm talking about hockey. The puck is under the goalie. You can't see it, but you know it's there because the goalie is all but in the net. And Toronto says, nope, no goal. We can't see the puck, so it's no goal. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. By the way, hockey, one of these days, you guys, we're going to have to grab a beer and you could explain to me if there's a tactic involved in hockey, because everything seems so fucking chaotic to me, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Just amazing what I see. I'm so confused, but I mean, I understand the basics of the power plays and everything that's going on, but like if there's a setup for like on offense or defense or whatever like the X's and O's are, I'm so fucking confused.
Mike, we will absolutely do that sometime.
I'm always having a fun time at those games though. I absolutely love going
there. You listen.
All right, we're getting off topic here. Can we talk about how you guys are both wrong about the Arsenal? And...
just Mike, just when we think we're having a good time,
people don't care about you guys grabbing beer and talking about puck ball.
Okay, well, Dodgers are having a great offseason right now.
Oh God, fuck the Dodgers! What are we doing here?
All right, Mike, you lost me. I was with you, man.
Bringing it back to the game. Yeah, I just wanted to make the point of the corners. I think it's absolutely insane. We haven't really discussed Victor Gyökeres a whole lot. I know that in the past, Ryan, you said that he's not the one And what is your counter to the people that are saying, hey, he's been scoring a lot of goals, second or third in the league or second or third in the entire world for 2026? Is it one of those things where do we accept that he looks like a fumbling buffoon sometimes, where like it's just like there's no nice way of saying this, but he's like tactically, my goodness, bro, he just looks so bad. And he had 2 opportunities, 2 or 3 one-on-ones in both 3, and both of them he just got tangled up. Now my perspective of Chelsea is different than yours. I just said he's shit, so I think he should be getting a shot on target. You say they're good, so maybe you think it's acceptable, or
it's fine. They're fine.
They're fine. I gotta look very specific.
Yeah,
You
right.
need to.
Fine.
You need to.
Not shit.
Fine.
Not great. Fine. Like right around here. They're average AF. And like I don't know. I just expect a shot on target. Am I asking for too much for? And I felt like Tom Kenton has had this argument a lot, in the sense that people say maybe you're being too harsh on him. But I do think where Tom's coming from is he's 27, 28, something like that. We spent, what is it, 55, 65? I forget the figures. I feel like when we purchased him, he wasn't purchased as a project footballer. Like you could spin Šeško was a project because he's 21, 22. But I thought when we purchased Victor, it was a ready-made solution, right? Plug and play. We expect you to hit the ground running, and it has not been that at all. And so, I don't know. Were you expecting more? Were you disappointed with the 3? I'm going to say the 3 non-Seans that he got off.
It's tough for me. I go back and forth with him because like he got the opportunities, so good for him. First of all, I don't like how when he got both, I want to say at least 2 or 3 opportunities, he like almost dribbles to the left. To me, like just go straight to the net. But he kind of wants to bring a defender with him because he's expecting help, and no one helped him. And I think that's my biggest thing is people go, oh, he had 3 opportunities and he fucked them up. Yeah, I expect him to be better. I do, but he was on an island against Chelsea. He played, and I was talking to somebody, and we were talking about players that didn't play well, and we had a lot. To me, there was 2 players that were putrid against Chelsea, and my buddy added Gilchrist to the 2, and I said, you know what, like I can't do that because he didn't play well. He was bad, but like he wasn't getting help. So it's like I almost like feel bad. I don't know if it's like I feel bad for him, or it's just like I just think the tactics didn't suit him. I think we kind of took Trossard and moved him into the middle of the pitch. Didn't help him. I think people talk about Eze and Gilchrist together. They're going to do something. They didn't. I think they were smart. And again, I'll lean into a little of this. Chelsea were smart in preparing for us. They saw Eze starting at 10. So like, okay, cool. We're going to press. We're going to give Eze the middle of the pitch, but behind him. And Eze's got a terrible first touch. So, I mean, he's for professional football, he probably has an amazing first touch. But as far as the team is concerned, he doesn't have a good first touch. So he was getting a lot of space, but behind him. And you know who excels with getting space behind them? Martin Odegaard. And Martin Odegaard takes that space and he moves and he moves the pitch and he passes and he dribbles and he does all these things. Eze's always looking for that shot.
Is Odegaard hurt?
They say he might be out for the year.
Okay. I didn't hear it, and I just, when he wasn't even on the bench, I was like,
yeah, he's hurt. He got hurt.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just
no, you're good.
Against
Brentford, his knee. Okay. But yeah, so they really took Eze out of the game. And in taking Eze out of the game, they took Gilchrist out of the game, and still and Tanner going back to your point of how we're just hoofing the ball forward. I don't think we did that just to get Gilchrist in the game, but I do think it was part of it. I think to get Gilchrist into the game, we were playing long balls, hoofing it forward. He was getting into space. He was, as a striker, he was doing what he was supposed to do. Problem is, he couldn't. This is the Arsenal fucking resume. He does everything right, and he just can't finish it. He can't do like just dribble past that one defender. And I will give Chalaba credit. Chalaba is a really good one-on-one defender, so whatever. It's tough, but
I won't. He's shit.
With all of that in mind,
yeah, fair. Touché, Mike.
with everything you just said, okay, I want to ask a question to both of you. Do you see in moments like these, and not just so Ryan basically saying that Gyökeres is getting no support? He's getting no support around him in those moments. I don't see anybody getting support in those moments. Or what I see really in the case of Bukayo Saka, and you said it earlier, is Jurrien Timber occupying a space that Bukayo Saka wants to get into. So we get the ball on the right, and I see 4 people over there, and it's like, guys, what are we doing? Are we having a hoedown? Where are we at here? But then there's everybody else, Gyökeres, Trossard, Martinelli, and there's no support in behind any of those guys to make a reasonable pass to try and create anything from that moment. Am I crazy? Are my eyes deceiving me, or do we really, really, really lack a jockstrap, meaning ball support? Mike, I guess I'll throw it to you first.
Well, so normally when Bukayo Saka gets the ball, normally I like to say there's 2-3 people in the box. So I kind of look at it in that specific instant. We're going on our build-up. Chelsea had more of an opportunity to get people behind the ball. The 3 chances that stood out to me to Gyökeres were 3 long balls. So it was within transition. Somebody saw him running and they found him. That's my thing. Like, he was being supported in the sense that earlier in the season, a lot of people said once they give him the ball, when he makes these runs, he made a run 3 times. He got the ball in pretty favorable positions 3 times. So this time around, it's hard for me to look at it and say he wasn't supported. We gave the ball to a striker in a fairly central area, and we gave him an opportunity of a 1-on-1. I think that's a pretty good place to be a striker. I'm not going to compare him versus Haaland because Haaland is the best striker in the world, but Ekitike, you could put Mamouche in that bracket. There's a handful of strikers. I would say that if you give them a 1-on-1, I would expect them to get a shot on target.
How many goals in the Premier League have you seen? Like, so Gyökeres has 3 chances, right? How many goals have you seen scored like that? Like where Gyökeres goes and he scores?
He literally just did it like in the Champions League.
No, Premier League. I'm talking about Premier League. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, but yeah,
that's a trick question for me because I hardly ever watch other.
I mean, I guess
I've seen it done in Serie A is what I could tell you, but I don't watch it too much. But
well, I can't see. To be fair, I guess I can't see Serie A, but it doesn't happen much. The Premier League. You hoof a ball, you get it down, you still make 1 or 2 more passes, and then Gyökeres may end up still scoring that goal, but to hoof it, he gets the ball, he beats a man and immediately scores. I'm sure it's happened at some point in the Premier League, but I can't think of one. I've watched a lot of Premier League this season, seen a lot of goals, and regardless of that, there still should be an attacking midfielder, a winger. Like, there needs to be somebody within distance to either bail him out or create an overload or create a 2-on-1. No, it's just a 1-on-1. We have 4 forwards. We have 4 attackers. Why can't we make it a 2-on-1? I'm not asking for all 3 people to help him out. I'm asking for one of the 3 people to help him out. No one helped him out. Trossard was playing in the middle to worry about Reece James. You had Saka on the right, which Gyökeres is kind of Gyökeres did play a little bit to the left because Trossard was occupying the middle. So that drifted Gyökeres out a little more, which he prefers the left over the right. But I mean, then what? And then you had Eze, who again was getting so much space in the middle third that he kind of occupied it. So he was a few steps back than what he should be. Like, I don't know. Like, he needs help. And again, I'm not going to beat this drum. Chelsea are good. They had a good game plan, though.
So now
they had a very good game plan against us.
Not fine. They're good now.
Okay. No, I said they had a good game plan. I said they were good. They had a good game plan.
Well, I'm just.
Yeah, see, this is why I love Mike so much. It's because he really knows how to get me annoyed, and he knows like, oh, so you said no, that's not what I said, and he knows it's not what I said, but he just keeps going with it, and then I'm like, this fucking asshole, this app. To be fair, BG does it too, but yeah.
To be fair, you do it too.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Come on. What? Yeah, no fucking shit. And
I think
the grass is green and the sky is blue.
I think that Chelsea, I agree with you that I think they had a good game plan. But I don't know who played into whose hands. Like, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
So it's funny. I wrote down both teams' tactics, both teams' game plan, and I watched it develop on the field. And I also read some things on Twitter that helped influence my opinion. I won't lie, but yeah, and that was something I battled with myself. Did we start off like? Yeah, I don't know. I think our tactics. So real quick, I think our tactics, what we accomplished to do, I think was catered to Nkapie because I think he's been playing well. Probably one of our most informed players, if not our most informed player. And I think we catered to just how he plays. So that's why we pushed Trossard over, just so Nkapie can run the left side channel, give him more space to roam, push him up the pitch more, because that's what he's comfortable with. But we also, in doing so, we pushed Trossard over to worry about Reece James, who wanted to play in the middle of the pitch because they were so set. The lineup for Chelsea was set up so defensively. But in order, they obviously wanted to play us because they tried to play us early on in the game. They pushed their fullbacks up, especially Reece James, because Reece James is known to be a good attacking fullback. And their setup, their midfield was very defensive. So they needed some attack, and that's what they did. They used Reece James' attack. So we took Trossard. Okay, Trossard, you're going to man mark Reece James. But it happens, and I think that's why, for me, I love football, and what makes it so beautiful to me is that all happened in real time that I couldn't tell you, like, did he move Trossard over to man mark Reece James, or was it, like, always the plan? But then, like, Trossard was over and it enhanced Nkapie, and Nkapie had a great game attacking. Like, it's just so many moving pieces, so many things happening. I don't know what came first, but I do know that played so differently than we normally did. It's just so hard.
And that's why I'm like, okay, well, I think we went into it with the idea of just bypassing their midfield, but then they press so high, and it kind of like makes it so that's what we're going to do anyway. So you see what I'm saying? It's almost like Rosenior and Arteta were like, hey, I'm going to do this. Oh, well, I was going to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, well, these two just kind of go hand in hand with each other. So let's just do that then.
I do think Chelsea played different. I don't think we were expecting Chelsea to press as much as they did.
I mean, I would agree. I don't know that I don't have an opinion on it either way.
Rosenior is a defensive coach. He's a defensive-minded player. And it's so funny because he hasn't lost a single game since he's been in charge of Chelsea, unless he's playing Arsenal. He's lost 3 times while being in charge of Chelsea, and all 3 times were against us. So I think he kind of wanted it. Well, yeah, he wanted to try something different. And, he kind of he tried to tip his hand a little to Arteta, like, oh, see, I'm going defensive. I'm a defensive-minded guy. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go defensive. I'm going to sit back and absorb pressure. And I'm going to play the way you hate and play in a low block. And we were like, fuck, what are we going to do? And I did think our answer would be to send an extra attacker. I mean, Trossard is an attacker already, but move him into the middle, overload the middle, maybe send Zubimendi higher up because Rice was playing almost in the back 4. They send Zubimendi up. Zubimendi was pressing up further up. You're sending Nkapie up to play wide left. We were like, okay, cool. You want to sit back on this? But yeah, so I think that was our plan. And then Chelsea's like, gotcha. We're going to move Reece James to the middle of the pitch, and we're actually going to play against you guys. And we're going to catch you guys off on the back foot. And that kind of fucked us because I thought Trossard was dog shit. And Granted,
And-
I will give him credit. He played a position. He did stuff that he has never done, at least for me in an Arsenal shirt. Reece James fucking took him to school, which I mean, before the
It's
game,
funny
if
because-
you'd asked me, I would have said Reece James would win anyway. But
I saw
Yeah.
a lot of people who said that they thought Leo had a really good game, and I'm just like, I don't know what you saw.
yeah,
pretty
no,
much
he
the
was
way
terrible.
Mike and I were with you when
was
we're
terrible.
like, what are you watching versus what we're watching?
He was awful.
I
But again,
want-
like I feel bad because he's having a player do something at such a high level against a fine team in Chelsea. It's tough. It's it's not easy. So I can't sit here and hide behind my computer and say how bad he is. Even though to be fair, I've been banging a drum that I think Trossard hasn't been the best. And he said he really hasn't been good as of late. Which the last thing I want to say, because I'm talking about Trossard right now, and I feel like we're not going to get back to it. I've said it. Tanner, you've said it. I don't know if you've said it, Mike, but we talk about how we can't find a player that wants to take the game by the scruff of the neck and try to win the game and try to really influence the game and attack and go for it. I realized it 5 minutes into the game, crazy enough, Trossard is that guy. If you're talking player profile, player personality, Trossard is the guy that wants to take the ball. Like he essentially, I guess, to relate more to basketball terms, he wants the last shot of the game. Clock's running down. Yeah, 1 second left. You have 5 players on the court. Who wants the last shot? Trossard's that guy. And the problem is he's not good enough.
That's
And I'm sorry.
Okay,
He's not good enough. I think he's clutch, and I think that's kind of what made me realize, oh no shit, because he has been clutch for us. He has scored goals, and I always, whenever we talk about Leo Trossard, I always think of that time, Tanner, that me and you were in Chicago together watching our first Arsenal game together. We were playing the Wolves, and Leo Trossard was terrible, and he just created something out of nothing, and we beat the Wolves 1-0 because of his goal, because of him just taking the ball and be like, you know what, I'm going to shoot it, I'm going to score. This is what I'm going to do. And he does it. He's done it from time to time, because I do think he's a Premier League player. I think he's good enough to play in the Premier League. Is he good enough to be in the best team in the world? Is he good enough to be in the best team in Europe? I don't think so. I think maybe off the bench, sure. Games here, games there, fine. But I don't. We can't be starting him based on his player profile and player personality, and that's why. And this is going to be the last thing I say. And I said this to all my friends, and I might have said this in one of our chats. If we lose this league, it's going to be because City signed Semenyo in January, because he is firing on all cylinders for City, and we could have had a chance to sign him. Semenyo wanted to come to us. Reports saying he wanted to come to us. But we all know Semenyo's boyhood club is Arsenal. If City win the league, it's going to be because of Semenyo, and we only have ourselves to blame because we could have signed him, and we could have 100% used him.
Boy.
But I don't want. That's a whole other conversation. I was just going off the whole
Big statement right there. Yeah.
The what I want to end with is the end of the game, and I never did get. It's just I never did get the graphic. You can look it up. You can go to James Benge on Twitter. You can look it up. He has the numbers there for the last 85 minutes, or since the red card, since that 02nd yellow.
Yep.
And then
I have it right.
You got it there, Mike.
I have it right here because I used it to misrepresent.
Earlier.
I sent it with the intention of misrepresenting what Ryan was arguing just to piss him off. So I have it saved on my phone.
Good boy. Good boy.
Please passes. Oh, this is passes completed between Pedro's red card and final whistle. Arsenal 55, Chelsea 114. From the 85th minute until the final whistle, 7 passes for Arsenal, 53 for Chelsea. So there was, instead of us having a massive uptick when we saw them get a red and know that we had a man up, we somehow completely failed to create an overload with the extra man. And we, in Timber's words, not mine, we stopped playing.
So my question is this: who is to blame for that? Because in my opinion, number one, it's unacceptable. You're a man up, a goal up at home, and you just decide we're going to put all 10 of our outfield players on the goal line, shoulder to shoulder, and we're just going to let Chelsea have the ball and see if they can beat
That's
it.
exactly what we did.
It is exactly what we did.
No, it's
which is
not.
how I know you didn't watch the game.
We put 10 players on the goal line. We did
Yes,
that.
this is exactly how I know
did
you
on the
didn't
goal
watch,
line,
you didn't watch the
goal.
game because you didn't see, you did not see Arteta and Raya come out onto the field, stop play, and be like, okay, boys, here's what we're going to do. Everybody,
this is what gets me fired up when people like make these like dramatic, like, we put 10 players in the net and because we were scared to lose to Chelsea. It's like, it's
my question is, okay, but
sorry, go.
Yeah, I mean, hyperbole on both ends.
Yeah.
Who's to blame for that? Is it, I mean, and I will say this, like, I went back and I watched the last roughly 20 minutes of the game. I think I turned it on. I watched the replay from like 78 minutes on. And for most of stoppage time, I dare say probably from the 85th minute on to get back into the James Bench thing.
I like the context after my text message.
All I see from Arteta is this. Waving every Arsenal player back. I don't know. I want your guys' take on the end of the game and what Mike just said, the James Bench thing, because that to me is, if it ain't coaching, then it's mental fragility. And you can't be scared when they're a man you can't be scared when they're a man down. In the last 15, 20 minutes of the game and you want to stop playing because you're anxious, you're anxious. They have one less man than you. Why isn't Arteta of all of the things that he barks out from the technical area, why is he not barking out overload? Create mismatches somewhere. I don't know. So Mike, I want your take on the end of the game and all of that. Because if I let you go right now, I'm never going to hear from Mike again.
No, that's fair because I have a lot to say about it too, right? Go.
Okay, well, I'm going to cut you off at like
fine. You're wasting time, Mike. Go.
No, well, I'm going to say, to be fair, Tanner, I don't recall seeing Mikel Arteta telling them to get back. It's something that just slipped my eyesight, to be completely honest with you.
I didn't notice it in the game. I went back and watched, and quite frankly, I was looking for it. I won't lie to you, but it's there.
Okay, yeah, like
it's not like they put the camera on him for 5 minutes and that's all he's doing. But every time the camera was on him, he's gesticulating for them, you know.
Okay, see, because
anyway, go ahead.
What I still have in the image that I still have in my head was him telling him to stay the fuck down and to push forward versus Wolves. That's the game when we were up 2-1 and he was telling everybody go forward. I didn't see him saying defend versus Chelsea. So I'm based on the what I actually remember and saw. My opinion could change with more information, but based on that, I generally think there's a hurdle that the players need to overcome, and they're struggling with it. And I'm not saying, I blame them for having it because they're going up against a massive juggernaut. But I do think that the nerves get the best of them at times. I was very vocal. I do believe that we should have created an overload. I view it like this: is as much as people, and we're in a group with this gentleman named Connor, and I said we should have created an overload. We should have kept the ball longer. And the Emirates, quite frankly, should have been saying ole between passes. Mm-hmm. And he sarcastically, and nothing against Connor. Of course, he's having fun in the group, and we're all strangers chatting. He says,
I got to get him on the podcast.
Wait, Ryan, is this hot Connor?
This is hot Connor. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And he says,
so fun to talk Arsenal with. I love it.
And he says, yeah, Ryan, it's that easy. And he was being sarcastic, of course. And I'm all for that, right?
Well, okay, so that was to you. He was talking to you about that, right?
Yes. It was to me. Again, dude, buddy, reading comprehension. Take a class.
You're all over the place. Because he said my name, and I'm like, what did I say, Connor? What the fuck?
Yeah. So, but I do believe, but genuinely, if Arsenal lost a player, And this was my biggest fucking gripe. You remember this is the first time I literally lost my shit was in the league when Chelsea played against us for 60, 70 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But all I'm saying is, how are you so comfortable saying that we shouldn't be on the front foot when we're a man up? But if Arsenal would have lost a player minute 60 and we were defending because we were ahead, you would be like, well, you have to defend. You're a man down. They have an extra person. You would totally justify it. You would totally say, we're a man down. We need to hold on to our league. 100%. But the roles are reversed. They lose a man. We go into a defensive clamshell. And the argument is, that's not what we're doing. You know, it's harder than you think. And I just don't think it applies both ways. I think generally, if you start off a game, Manchester City versus Arsenal at the Etihad, was it when Trossard got the red card? We were up 1-0 and we played some of the most defensive, filthy football I've ever seen Arsenal Football Club play, and we almost paid dividends, but unfortunately, City scored the very last minute, and we ended up drawing that game 1-1. It was this season. It was
it was last year. Calafiori had the goal. It was when Trossard kicked the ball away, and it was Michael Oliver gave him a second. He had a yellow. He gave him a second yellow for kicking the ball away.
Everyone gave us shit for sitting back.
Yeah,
we sat back for 45 minutes.
But what I'm saying is, it's what you expect with a man down. In City having the extra man, I
was like, what?
Created the overload, and so that became a legitimately discourse with us where. Maybe I'm simplifying too much, but yeah, I expect 11 professional footballers to be able to find the one person that Chelsea has no fucking person to put on. And I found it weird that we couldn't do it.
Ryan, before you jump in, sorry, Mike, go ahead. Finish your thought.
And because of that, by the way, just full circle here, tentative. Because of that, I think it was a player thing. It was a player decision.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Decision seems like they actively made the choice. I think it was I'm too afraid to do anything else.
Yeah.
This is my I keep on saying, bringing this up. Jorge Valdano said this for Real Madrid very in the 60s, 70s, 80s, whenever the fuck he played. He said, football is a state of emotion. And I've always loved that quote. And their emotional state is we're fucking pissing ourselves right now.
Yeah.
That is my interpretation of our players in the last 5 to 10 minutes.
2 points, just real quick. Number one, I find it funny that whenever we are faced with playing someone who just lost a man, we go into the defensive shell. We do not. Against a 10-man opponent at all that I can recall actually try to go and score another goal. The second point that I want to make is this. For all of the things that Arteta wants to do in terms of possession and attacking and all of that, it's just methodical buildup. Let's dominate possession. Let's matriculate the ball up the pitch. Situational football, man. Get control of the ball, because Raya would get it when they're down a man. Raya would get the ball and he would just continue to do what they did all game. Hoof the ball over the top. Hoof the ball. How about this? How about now is your actual opportunity to play the way that you really want to play, and that is dominate possession and build out from the back and methodical buildup. How about that? Where's the situational football in that? So the answer to my own question is, even if it's the mental fragility aspect, and Mike, you're going to blame the players, I still blame Arteta, because part of your job is you got to coach it out of them. And if you're going to stand there and you're going to bark orders at them for 90 minutes, at least get some of them right. Where's the possession? Just hoof the ball over the top and give possession right back to them. It's punting on first down. Anyway, so situational football, there is no situational awareness, in my opinion, with this football club in the game whatsoever. Very, very, very little situational awareness. And if we don't win anything this year, that's what it'll be down to. It'll be down to a supreme lack of situational awareness within a game. Ryan, the floor is yours. And then that's my final thought. Thank you, everybody, for watching. That's my final, because as soon as Ryan's done, we're out of here. I got things I got to do.
So I mean, it's both. I don't think you can give 100% to either side, but honestly, if I had to pick, I would pick Arteta.
I do agree with that, by the way. It's not. I don't think it is. I mean, the players have a role to play in this. I agree with you.
It's funny that you said that. Like, oh, we're hoofing it up. Why aren't we just playing methodically out of the back? We didn't play methodically out the back from minute one. And why is that? I don't know. I can't even answer that. Why we are.
But do you agree that in a moment like that, that would seem to be that
no.
You can change tactics mid-game. There's no rule that says the way you start the game is how you have to play the entire game.
No, I know that, but like,
no, I know.
I just thought it was funny when you said that. I'm like, we didn't do that from minute one. Why we didn't do that minute 80?
But that's my point, though, is why
because
in that moment now you are now playing against a shorthanded team. There would be the opportunity, if ever there were one, at least in my opinion, if ever there were an opportunity to now play your possession-based game, because that's what he wants to do. I'm not arguing with you. I'm simply, you know what I'm saying. I just now change the tactic, because I get if you want to bypass the midfield. I get if you want to bypass the press. I understand that. But now they're a man down. Even if they're going to start trying to press you, let them. Find the open man. Find the opening. Like Mike just said, somewhere there's going to be an opening. Sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. So I kind of talked about the tactics and what we wanted to do. And I think we did an all right job, besides the mismatch of Leo Trossard versus Reece James. We scored. We went up 2-1. They got a red card. They're down to 10 men. At that point, I think our tactics don't make sense because the mismatch in Leo and Reece James is still there. Granted, Martinelli's on the pitch. And it's funny because whereas I think Martinelli should have excelled in this game because of their high line, because of them really needing to score and wanting to win. I know some people thought that that Chelsea would be happy with the draw, but whatever. I think Martinelli was terrible as far as tactics, as far as how we wanted to set up. I think, I'm not going to talk about that, but so I think that bringing Martinelli on was good at first, but I think it proved to be not the smartest substitution. Arteta found out. So I think at that point, all bets are off. We go in a defensive shell, and so this is where I disagree, and I'm going to get slated for this, and it's fine. And I know there's arguments against what I'm about to say, but I think we're the best defensive team in the league. Actually, no, I think we're the best defensive team in the world. So I'm all for going into our shell. Now, do I want us to go into a shell? Do I want us to play defensive? No. Do I want us to do what you guys were saying for us to do with a man up and overload? Yeah, obviously, I want that. But like, there are 10 men. We're 10, 15 minutes away from 3 points. Just be comfortable. Don't get hurt. See the game out. You sit back, play defensive. We're the best defense. We're the best defense in the world. We're the best back four in the world. And Rice getting hurt really fucked us too. I think if we had Rice, I think we probably could have changed things up a little bit. I think you could maybe see a Mascara come on. I think you could maybe see. I think Rice getting substituted really limited what we were going to do. And I think that changed what we did. But I mean, I don't think it's the wrong move to go defensive. I know you guys will say that, and I think as a football fan, it's the wrong thing to do because you want us to impose will, you want to step on their necks, and to go full circle. I just want 3 points. And yes, performance matters. We're the best defensive team in the world. I'm not worried. Like, yeah, we're going to fuck up. And then you talk about, let's just play out the back. Well, okay, so when we play out the back against Man United and then Zubimendi pretty much kicked the ball into our own net, or when we tried to play in the back with Declan Rice and Declan Rice gave him the ball outside the 18-yard box and they scored a goal,
No, I'd rather just sit back, take the pressure. We could take it. We could handle it. We've done it before. And it's funny, Mike brought up that Man City game. We were up 1-0 for the longest time. They couldn't do shit.
But the dam finally broke.
And I think it was, what was it? It was a ridiculous amount of stoppage time because I remember
it was
being
in the
like,
98. It was in the 98.
I was like,
and it was virtually the last kick of the ball.
But not even that. The fact that they got that much stoppage time, I remember being like,
oh yeah, well, everybody was
where
pissed
they
because they never should have gotten that far.
And that's my point. You know, we did so well, and yeah, I mean, obviously we let the goal in still, but we had to deal with that. And that's how that happened because they have an exorbitant amount of stoppage time and they finally scored the last game. But yeah, so long story short, yeah, I blame the coach. I blame Arteta. I think Arteta had some interesting tactics in the first half, and he realized the state of the game. He realized Declan Rice not being in the game, and he said, "Fuck, I think that's why we bought so many defenders and are probably still buying defenders, which is, again, back to my Ben White thing, which isn't a crazy take after all. I think you guys are now noticing. But yeah, I that's why he signed so many defenders. You start at the back, you build the best team in the world, and you finish games like this. And it's not pretty. It's butt cheek clenching. It's not fun to watch as an Arsenal fan. It's not fun to watch as a third-party supporter, but it's effective. I don't think we can really argue that it's not. Yeah, it sucks that it's a boring end to the game and it's not a 5-1 win like we all wanted, but I don't think it's. I'm really mad. You said something earlier, Tanner, that I was like, no. I was like, I wanted to use your wording, but I forgot what you said. But I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's inexcusable.
I'll say on it, and I'm actually going to take the final word here.
Yeah, go for it.
But bottom line is, if it's not for an incredible save from David Raya and an offside, I mean, if I understand, if my aunt had a dick, blah 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 blah, I get it.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna say. Good job.
But your point, we handled the pressure. Did we? Did we absorb the pressure?
Yeah.
Because they had two glorious chances.
But did they score? Again, I'd rather be
point taken. Point taken.
It didn't score.
Boy, oh boy, in that situation, you gotta say, dude, just get the ball. Just get the ball and possess the ball. We're all at the bar screaming, can you please just go to the corner flag? You please just get the ball and go to the fucking corner
I'm
flag.
Just biased. I hate that shit. Even if
I do too. No. I do too.
I can't.
But boy, I'd rather
absolutely fucking love that shit.
You like it, Mike?
Rather.
Oh my god,
because you're Spanish. Mike, because you're Spanish. That's why you like that.
That's fucking racist, Ryan. You can't say that to me.
Sorry.
What I was gonna say, I'm just reading my notes right now. What you said, Arteta out then, right? Because he's too defensive.
You asking me or Ryan?
No, Ryan just said.
I knew it.
Ryan just said.
I love having the best defense in the world. Why would I want him out?
This is going to be this is going to be the last thing that I say. We're getting out of here because I really.
Are you sure? You've got a lot of last things
because it was one other thing that I wanted to say, and it is about Arteta, and Mike just triggered the thought. There are coaches in the world. I think that Arteta is a tremendous coach. I think he is a fantastic coach. I do not think he is a good manager at this point, and I think there's a very distinct.
He's the best manager in the world. I said it.
No, you're absolutely
why does he keep signing players?
To be argumentative. You don't really.
No,
I'm not. We're not going to argue and save it for next week.
This is one every night. Okay, so
that's crazy.
About media.
I don't think he's a good. I think he's a great coach. I don't think he's.
How is it? Sorry, Mike. Tell me how he's signing these players. How are these players coming to Arsenal? Then why are they coming to Arsenal?
Mike,
he's a good man.
What were you saying?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no, I'm just taking the piss out of both of you guys at this point.
I know. We can go to Mike. Of course,
you can disregard anything I say after this point. I'm just jotting down that you hate Mikel Arteta.
Me?
We knew that. We knew that already.
Both of you.
I think he is best suited to go to a team that is in a bit of turmoil, perhaps, and can get them on the right track. Until he gets us over the line, I don't know that he can do it.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Unai.
Yeah, I think you're very wrong.
Don't miss Unai Emery. Freddie, yes. Unai, no.
Guglu and what? Thomas
Freddie
Frank?
was a terrible
I'll take Thomas
manager.
Frank. I'll take Thomas Frank.
Honestly, I
I'll
would
take Thomas Frank. I don't have the end button myself because I'm a host, but that's when you wanted to end this podcast.
Yeah, right.
Right. I know he's a fan. He's a silver
seriously
member.
though, it's
but
not.
that's
It's
what we
not
do.
the manager. It's Tottenham. How they're going to get relegated?
Yeah,
It's not Thomas
yeah.
Frank's fault.
That's
Nobody
it
can
for
live
us.
with
If you've
him.
watched this far, thank you guys very much. We will be back next week. My thanks to both of these guys. Always a good time. If I didn't have such important time-sensitive things to get to, we would keep going. But that's it. We're out of here.
No,
We'll see you
we wouldn't.
next week.